Hi class, welcome. This video is to review the supplemental instructions for the course. You can read through all of this, but I did just want to highlight a few things. So one of them is make sure that you're paying attention again to the assignment schedule so that you can see when assignments are due. So sometimes they're due on Sundays at midnight, but sometimes they're due Wednesdays or Tuesdays. So I want to make sure that you're always looking at the schedule. Now in terms of the week for each 15 week of the semester, each week starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday, but it doesn't always mean, again, that your homework is due on Sunday. It could be due earlier in that week. Some of the class policies and expectations, I do want to point out that emailed homework assignments will not be accepted. They must always be submitted through Blackboard. So make sure that you are not emailing me homework assignments and that you're always putting them through Blackboard. If for some reason you run into an issue with uploading it to Blackboard, you can email me to tell me that you're running into an issue, but they do have to be uploaded to Blackboard. Make sure that you're reading through the expectations. So I'm going to be available to you via phone, email, and virtual meetings, and I will respond to you within 48 hours. I will be available for face-to-face or virtual appointments as well, but they have to be requested and booked through my website. Make sure that if you see any issues with Blackboard that you report them to me so I can fix them immediately. Homework assignments are going to be returned to you within 72 hours of the assignment due date. So even though you may submit an assignment on Thursday and it's due on Sunday, I'm not going to look at it until after that Sunday due date. I need to look at everyone's all together to make sure that I'm being fair and consistent. Anything that you write to me, I'm going to hold in confidence. So please, if you're having any issues, make sure that you express them to me personally, and just know that I will not share that information with others unless I need to do so as required by the college. The other thing that I want you to be aware of is just that although I'm available to you by email and phone, I am not available on the weekends. So Sundays and Saturdays, if you email me, I'm probably not going to respond back to you. Now, I know that sounds a little harsh, maybe, and I used to always respond back to students immediately, and then it got to be a little too much. I mean, we all have families and we all have things going outside of work. And I will try, if you're having an emergency and I see something in my email on a Saturday or Sunday, I'll try to get back to you, but I don't always have the time to look at that, as I have a lot of commitments that I do on Saturdays and Sundays, just like the rest of you. So just please plan accordingly for that. As I discussed before, for your assignments, you're going to have about 4 to 6 exercises each week from your textbook. There'll be a quiz at the end of every module. There's going to be 3 tests, and then you have a residential project that will be broken down into 3 parts. And I'll go over those 3 parts in greater detail later on in the semester. Now, this folder for the residential project will be opened after the first few modules so that you can start to look at that content. You might not be able to start working on it right away, but if you wanted to, you could. I don't have a problem if you want to get a head start. Just before I move on, I wanted to mention the module quizzes. So there is a quiz at the end of each module, and you have 2 attempts at these quizzes. However, the attempts are averaged into one final score. So you really want to try to do as well as possible, or put your best effort forth, I'll say, on the first attempt. So I gave you a little example. So say you had a 65 on your first attempt and 100 on the second attempt. Your grade for that Module 1 quiz would be an 82.5. So it's going to average them together. So make sure that you're aware of this. Okay, let's go down to the late work, the policies. So I want to explain this to you. So homework's going to be due at midnight by the due date. You are allowed 2 grace days, 2 self-granted extensions, which you can use to give yourself extra time without penalty. However, you must tell me in advance if you are going to use a grace day. So for example, say that you are working in Module 1 and practice exercise you've completed practice exercise 1A, 2A, 2B, but you just haven't gotten to 2C, and you notice that all of them are due Wednesday at midnight, and you know you're not going to be able to get 2C done by Wednesday. Well, you can email me and say, Dear Dr. Gerdo, I would like to use a grace day to extend 2C exercise, and submit it. So what that means when you use a grace day is you have 24 hours more to submit the assignment. So then you would have Thursday at midnight to get the assignment done. Okay, so it says extra time. That's the extra time. You get 24 hours more. You're emailing me in advance again. So in that example I said, if you can't get practice 2C done and it's Tuesday, you would email me on Tuesday to tell me. If you email me on Thursday after the assignment is due to say I want to use a grace day, I'm not going to let you do that, because the whole point is that you're being proactive, okay? You're only allowed, just to be clear, 1 grace day per each assignment. So there's only 2, and you have a lot of assignments here. So that grace day doesn't apply to the whole module. It just applies to 1 assignment in the module, and it does not apply to quizzes, okay? Late work that you hand in once you run out of grace days is going to be 10% off per day. So if you start to go over a week in time, that's like 70% off, okay, of a possible 100 score. You definitely don't want to do that. All the projects have a hard deadline, and submissions after that hard deadline are not accepted. So when I was talking about that residential project and it had 3 parts, those are going to be hard deadlines, and late work will not be accepted for those. You cannot take exams. There's no extensions for exams. So the tests, test 1, 2, and 3, you have to take by their time. No extensions will be allowed. And again, emailed assignments are not going to be accepted. They have to be posted through Blackboard, and it's a tracking device. It's how we keep track of things, so that if we ever need to find something again, we can pull it up through Blackboard. Okay, so just with the grace days, this is allowing you, so it's empowering you to make your own decisions and where situations warrant the use of grace days. Now, again, it's only going to extend the deadline by 24 hours, and it's only meant to cover real problems like illness, stolen computers, bike accidents, so on. It's not intended to cover things like your vacation to Mexico, an overcommitment, poor planning, and items like that. Okay, so really, you only have 2 of them, and use them wisely. All right, going down a little more, you can read through. There's a lot more information on those grace days. Just know that there's only 1 per 1 assignment, okay? Let's go down to the rubric. So all your drawings are going to be, this is for all your drawings and all your work. It will be graded pretty much based off assignment accuracy, timeliness, technical accuracy, and critical proofing, composition, and then is your name on it. So you're going to see that actually the name part, I have very specific instructions for how you have to write your name on your assignments. So make sure that you're watching that video and that you're doing everything that you need to do. Also, I strongly suggest that you store your files on some sort of memory stick or a external hard drive, something that has a lot of space, because the Revit files will take up a lot of room, especially if you don't keep your backup files in check. And again, you're going to read about backup files in the first chapter of your textbook. So that's just a little bit about the supplemental instructions. If you have any questions about any of these supplemental policies, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, when you email me, please write Dear Dr. Gerdo and sign sincerely or thank you, and make sure the body of your message has proper spelling and grammar. Part of this course is to teach you professionalism. It's one of the number 1 things we hear from people who want to hire our students, is that they lack professionalism in writing emails. So to help you to be a better professional email writer in some terms, right? I want you to make sure that you write Dear Dr. Gerdo, you write the body of the message. It has periods, commas, proper capitalization, and then you write sincerely your name or thank you in your name, and that when you are asking things, that you're asking them and you're not demanding things. So remember that you want to be professional, whenever you are writing things to another person. Again, any questions, just reach out.